So, dear Thay, dear friends, welcome to our Friday meditation. We'll begin our practice tonight with 30 minutes of sitting meditation. After that, we will have our precept recitation, as this is the first Friday of the month. And after that, we will have a Dharma talk by our teacher, Thay, to conclude our evening. So to begin, please find yourself a comfortable position and try to sit with your back straight, your shoulders relaxed. Bring your mind back to the present moment. Letting go of any stress, any worries, anxiety, and grounding yourself in the here and now. Allow yourself to breathe naturally, not forcing your breath, but just letting it do what comes naturally. Follow your breathing all the way through. Your in-breath and your out-breath. Continue following your breathing. If it's a long breath, you recognize this is a long breath. If it's a short breath, you also recognize this is a short breath. We become fully aware of our breathing. Relaxing our body and settling our mind. We'll begin with the 3 sounds of the bell, and followed by a short guided meditation. In the meditation, there will be some phrases followed by some keywords. And we can use these keywords to help us focus in our meditation. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. In, out. Breathing in, I'm aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I relax my whole body. Aware of body, relaxing body. Breathing in, I'm aware of the tension in my body. Breathing out, I release the tension in my body. Aware of tension, releasing tension. Breathing in, my mind is calmed. Breathing out, I feel at peace. Mind calmed, feeling at peace. Breathing in, I enjoy the present moment. Breathing out, I smile. Present moment, smiling. Please take some time to release your legs and massage before our next activity. So, dear Thay and dear friends, and now we have the opportunity to practice the recitation of the 5 mindfulness trainings. This is the practice that we do on the first Friday of every month in order to review, to reflect on our practice in our daily life. For those who have taken the 5 mindfulness trainings, this can be the time of recitation for you, for your practice. And for those who have not taken the 5 mindfulness trainings, you can use this time to just practice deep listening, to learn and to understand more about what the 5 mindfulness trainings are. So I invite everyone to come back to your breathing. And we'll listen to 3 sounds of the bell before we begin our recitation. The 5 mindfulness trainings. The 5 mindfulness trainings represent the Buddhist vision for a global spirituality and ethic. They are a concrete expression of the Buddha's teachings on the 4 Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, the path of right understanding and true love, leading to healing, transformation, and happiness for ourselves and for the world. To practice the 5 mindfulness trainings is to cultivate the insight of interbeing or right view, which can remove all discrimination, intolerance, anger, fear, and despair. If we live according to the 5 mindfulness trainings, we are already on the path of a bodhisattva. Knowing we are on that path, we are not lost in confusion about our life in the present or in fears about the future. The first mindfulness training, Reverence for Life. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I am committed to cultivating the insight of interbeing and compassion and learning ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to support any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, or in my way of life. Seeing that harmful actions arise from anger, fear, greed, and intolerance, which in turn come from dualistic and discriminative thinking, I will cultivate openness, non-discrimination, and non-attachment to views in order to transform violence, fanaticism, and dogmatism in myself and in the world. This is the first of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Have you made an effort to study and practice it in the past month? The second mindfulness training, True Happiness. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I am committed to practicing generosity in my thinking, speaking, and acting. I am determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. And I will share my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in need. I will practice looking deeply to see that the happiness and suffering of others are not separate from my own happiness and suffering. That true happiness is not possible without understanding and compassion, and that running after wealth, fame, power, and sensual pleasures can bring much suffering and despair. I am aware that happiness depends on my mental attitude and not on external conditions, and that I can live happily in the present moment simply by remembering that I already have more than enough conditions to be happy. I am committed to practicing right livelihood so that I can help reduce the suffering of living beings on earth and stop contributing to climate change. This is the second of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Have you made an effort to study, practice, and observe it in the past month? The third mindfulness training, True Love. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I am committed to cultivating responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. Knowing that sexual desire is not love, and that sexual activity motivated by craving always harms myself as well as others, I am determined not to engage in relations without true love and a deep, long-term commitment made known to my family and friends. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. Seeing that body and mind are one, I am committed to learning appropriate ways to take care of my sexual energy and cultivating loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness, which are the 4 basic elements of true love, for my greater happiness and the greater happiness of others. Practicing true love, we know that we will continue beautifully into the future. This is the third of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Have you made an effort to study, practice, and observe it in the past month? The 4th mindfulness training, loving speech and deep listening. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I am committed to cultivating loving speech and compassionate listening in order to relieve the suffering and to promote reconciliation and peace in myself and among other people, ethnic and religious groups, and nations. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I am determined to speak truthfully, using words that inspire confidence, joy, and hope. When anger is manifesting in me, I am determined not to speak. I will practice mindful breathing and mindful walking in order to recognize and to look deeply into my anger. I know that the roots of anger can be found in my wrong perceptions and lack of understanding of the suffering in myself and in the other person. I will speak and listen in a way that can help myself and the other person to transform suffering and see the way out of difficult situations. I am determined not to spread news that I do not know to be certain, and not to utter words that can cause division or discord. I will practice right diligence to nourish my capacity for understanding, love, joy, and inclusiveness, and gradually transform anger, violence, and fear that lie deep in my consciousness. This is the 4th of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Have you made an effort to study, practice, and observe it in the past month? The 5th mindfulness training, nourishment and healing. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I am committed to cultivating good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will practice looking deeply into how I consume the 4 kinds of nutriments, namely edible foods, sense impressions, volition, and consciousness. I am determined not to gamble or to use alcohol, drugs, or any other products which contain toxins, such as certain websites, electronic games, TV programs, films, magazines, books, and conversations. I will practice coming back to the present moment, to be in touch with the refreshing, healing, and nourishing elements in me and around me, not letting regrets and sorrow drag me back into the past, nor letting anxieties, fear, or craving pull me out of the present moment. I am determined not to try to cover up loneliness, anxiety, or other suffering by losing myself in consumption. I will contemplate interbeing and consume in a way that preserves peace, joy, and well-being in my body and consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family, my society, and the earth. This is the 5th of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Have you made an effort to study, practice, and observe it in the past month? Dear friends, we have recited the 5 mindfulness trainings, the foundation of happiness for yourself, your family, and your society. We should practice reciting the trainings each month at least once in order to deepen our practice and our understanding. Thank you for your listening and your practice of listening to the trainings tonight. So next we will have a Dharma talk by our teacher, Thay. So please take some time to release your legs before we stand up.
Brothers and sisters, before we start our session, shall we sing a song to keep our freshness continue for the whole night? Maybe we will sing a song, Happiness is Here Now. You still remember the words? On 3. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. No longer in a hurry. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do, but no need to hurry. One more time, please. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. No longer in a hurry. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do, but no need to hurry. You are here now. No more worries, just enjoy your time together. Good evening, my dear brothers, sisters, friends, near and far, especially friends and brothers, sisters who are here in this meditation hall and many others online. Today is the Friday, December the 3rd, the year of 2021. This is our regular Friday evening meditation session. So how are you so far? You fine? Enjoy your weather. This is the second last week before we have winter break. And this week the brothers invite me to come out to visit the Sangha, and because I'm unable to attend next Friday, and also other brothers will come out next Friday to share their practice at the end of the year, and also to wish everyone a good year. And we were ending the year, our session by next Friday, and we will see each other again in January the year 2022. Tomorrow, December the 4th, 2021, and tomorrow is the first day of the 11th month according to the lunar calendar. And tomorrow is a special day that the celebration, the anniversary, the passing day of a very special king of Vietnam. And tomorrow will be his 713 years that he passed away. The reason I mention about him, because he is a king, but he renounced his throne, and he passed down to his son, and he ordained as a monk, and he became a Zen master that we call the Trúc Lâm Vietnamese Zen in Vietnam. So he is one of the Vietnamese Zen monk who create and the founder of the Trúc Lâm Zen lineage in Vietnam. His real name is Trần Khâm, and we used to call him Trần Nhân Tông. He was born in the year 1258, and he passed away the year 1308. So this year is 713 years anniversary of his death date. He did not live long, only about 50 years old. And we used to realize and remember that live long or short is not a matter of the measure of our lifetime. But the main thing here is how we live. Live short or long is no matter. The main and the important is how we live. He only lived within 50 years. But his dharmas, his teachings, live back for us after 700 years. There's still a lot of things to discuss, to learn. Today, I would like to share with you a very short, the last 4 sentences, according to one of his very famous poems. And you know that Zen masters, when they are making poems, in their poems contain a lot of the practice, a lot of deep meaning. And what is, according to Master Trần Nhân Tông, we used to call him Living Buddha, Royal Buddha, Phật Hoàng Trần Nhân Tông, Royal Buddha. And his main practice is how we can live in this entire world, but we still practice. We cannot detach from this world in order to find the path, the practice, the happiness, the liberation. Another word, a lotus cannot reject the mud, because without the mud, we have no lotus. Without the dirt, the soil, we have no flowers. For example, we look at the vegetable that we cut and eat, where they come from. They come from underneath of the ground with a lot of soil, dust. But from that soil, it grows and we have the food. So that is what he wants to, that is his main thing that he wants to introduce us. One of the Chinese monk, Zen master, he is the 6th patriarch. He also said this. You can find the Dharma, the teachings, the practice everywhere in this entire world, every corner of life. If you run away from this life in order to find a way of practice, unable to. Because the word practice means we in some condition, some difficult condition, but we try to do something, overcome, and that is the word practice makes sense. Let's say if somebody come to always give us hard time, but we have learned about patience, how to practice patience, and if without that person try to come to give us hard time, then how can we really experience? How can we really show that our practice and what we have learned from the word patience? But if you try to patient for 1 time or 3 times or 4 times, but last time you cannot hold it, you need to explore. It cannot call perfect. Perfect means completely, even 100 times, even 1,000 times. And the Pali term, the Sanskrit term, we used to call paramita. Paramita means perfectly, completely. Some people say, oh, I only can hold myself for 3 times or 5 times or 10 times. Then 1 more time, I will have the action. This still cannot be called the perfection of the patient. So therefore, his main practice, his main teachings, that how can we practice right in this world, the world of difficulties, the world of suffering, the world of impurities. When we talk about impurities, doesn't mean, oh, this world is, dirty or dust. But the word impurity also means never stable, not stable at all. Do we agree about that? Nothing can stay there forever. Nothing stable. This afternoon, I met a young husband. He came for his wife's funeral service. She took a day off, and she wanted to do some grocery. She already got her plan. So early morning, she went downstairs. She feed her pets, and she bring a glass of water, walk upstairs, and she just, collapsed, and she passed away. Whatever time that, just in 1 or 2 hours. The daughter came to her room and she couldn't open the door. So she tried to open a little bit harder, and she looked down, and her mom fell right at the door. And she passed away at a young age. But she had no signal of sickness, nothing. She already got her plan last night that this morning she will do some grocery and she will buy stuff for family and Christmas and everything. And she unable to make it. That is called impurity. So in Buddhist practice, when we talk about impurity, doesn't mean dirty at all. Yes, but also means not stable. Everything can be changed quickly, and we never expect it. Just like our health. We are healthy inside, but when we walk out, the wind blows, we can get running nose, headache, flu, cold. We never know. So therefore, he got a long Dharma talk in that poem, but for the conclusion, that poem he got 10 paragraphs, but at the final, at the very last sentence, he only got 4 sentences. That describe everything about his main teaching, his main Dharma talk. And he was written in Vietnamese, and we try to translate this into English. The first line: living in the world, practice with skillful means to maintain the joy of the path. Living in the world, that means we all live in this world. And what do? Practice with skillful means to maintain the joy of the path. The life always changes, but we should maintain. We should be stable with the practicing of understanding about these facts of life. We can accept, and why we accept it easily? Because we know this is the nature of things. This is the nature of human's life. Everything comes as a form, and one day will be formless. We have a chance to come here, what we call gathering. An hour later, we will leaving. So what is the practice here? Coming and living. We always have 2 things together. They walk together. Birth and death. Good, bad. Right, wrong. black and white, coming, living, entry, entrance, exit. So living in this world, practice the skillful means to maintain the joy of the path. The path here is the practice. If anything is easily to attain, there's nothing called practice. So that's why in the Buddhist practice, in the Buddhist tradition, the word practice always remind. Practicing means try to do something, make things possible. For example, if we have a plant, but we don't take good care for the plant will be dying. But before we taking care for this plant, we must know what kind of this plant, how much water they can take for a week, how much sunshine they can take. Not all the plants the same. Some plants doesn't need that much water. So we are taking care of a body is the same. So the practicing here is to be stable, because everything will come and go. Everything will be changed. But one thing never changed, that the stability of our mind, the stability of our practice, because we understand the true nature of all dharmas. The word dharma here doesn't mean teachings. In this case, we should understand the word dharma means everything, things and also situations. So that's why Prajna Paramita Sutra said, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. So the word dharma in this case, we should understand dharma here means everything. The table, a relationship, the house, the situation, the fame, everything will be changed. They are just come for temporary. And if things are temporary, and what is the name of it, it's also temporary. Last year in May, we started a project to renovate an old church, a historical church in Kelowna. And that historical church was sold to us by the city of Kelowna. And we have this church, and with the policy that we are unable to knock it down. We have to keep the shape of it, but we can make it newer. We can renovate, we can replace the wall, everything, but keep the same shape, the same space, but we can add more. So what is this? We make things newer. And before we build, now we call temple, but before that we call a church. So once the form is changed, the name also changed. We still active, we call a living person. But when we lie down, no more moving, the name change is a death. So live in this world, we can see things as they are. Form change, name change. And because things will be changed, so do not expect to be anything to be there forever. We never expect COVID, but it's 2 years already. At first we think, oh, this can be 2 weeks. I remember last year when COVID just began, and we realized that we're unable to organize a spring retreat. So we make an announcement. So we will cancel the spring retreat and hope to see everyone in the summer retreat. So we wait until July, nothing happened. We make a non-announcement. And we thought, this only happened, at first I thought this only happened in Asia. So in our very earliest announcement, we say, this year we cannot take any Asian. But later on, the whole world blocked. That is the meaning of living in this world, impurities world. Nothing stays forever. Things we never expect, but it has to be happen. But the practicing here is be stable, be solid. Because if we are unable, stable and solid, we will move or we will knock down by all of this changing. When we understand the true facts of it, doesn't mean we down along with it. But we know how to correct, keep it, and move on. That is the first sentence of Master Nhân Tâm. And we used to say, read this in Vietnamese, ở đời vui đạo, hãy tùy duyên. Live in this world, practicing with skillful means to maintain the joy of the path. So in this first sentence, we can see two things. Live in this world, but cannot live without the practice. You cannot live without understanding. Just the same as when you agree, when you make the commitment to take that person as a husband, as a wife, then you guys come together as a couple. Live in that world. Be very maintained, be very stable after your practice. Do not expect. She will be perfect. She will be the same as the first day you met her. And he will be perfect as the first day you met him. When you met him, you only can see the outside, the surface. But the longer you be with that person, the more things you can learn from that person, either negative or positive. But no matter what, you have the stability of love within you. You can help that person to change. You can help that person to improve. And if that person loves you, he or she willing to improve themselves too. And this is called practicing. Why you do this? I'm sorry, honey, I will be changed. I'm sorry, I will be. I will try. So we allow them have some time to change. And we also allow us to take that person. You can imagine if in this life and everyone who came to us, they have done something and we don't like it, we just kick them out, we just reject them, I don't think we have anyone who will be beside us. Because we don't practice. We don't practice to take that person. We don't practice to accept that person. We don't practice to help that person to be changed. I always remind a young couple, every building have to be maintained regularly. Do not misunderstanding that after you build a building, that's it. No way. You have to keep it in a good condition, good shape. Look after, taking care, maintenance. But we still understand no matter what we done, one day it have to be down because this is the law of life. Living in the world, practice with skillful means to maintain the joy of the path. So his first practice, his first teaching, be fine with everything that comes. Now, his second line. When hungry, eat. When sleepy, sleep. Đói đến thì ăn, mệt ngủ liền. Look like easy, but they are not easy at all because we never do that. We never accept, oh, when I'm hungry, just give me something to eat. We will say, what is it? Is that tasty? We have more question after. I'm hungry, can I have something to eat? But when that person offers us maybe a sandwich or something, that's it. That's it. I'm thirsty, can I have something to drink? Oh, I only have water. That's it, nothing else. That is the problem after that. So, this is only an example. When you're hungry, find some, just eat. When you're sleepy, go sleep. But just according to this, we can ask us a question. Do we just lie down and sleep, or are we still thinking a lot? Are we still working a lot? Even we say, oh, I need to go to rest. But we only lie down and rest the body. The body rests, but the mind do not rest. And so once the mind is still working, it affects the body, you cannot sleep. Because the mind and the body, even they separate name, separate form, but it's related, it's linked. About the food, sometimes we are so busy. We are so busy with the food. For example, at least 3 meals a day, we're busy. We're busy to make breakfast. We're busy to, while we have breakfast, we're thinking what we will have for lunch. While we have lunch, we were thinking what I'm going to have for supper. So we are not simple at all. So his practicing is do things on time. So when you're sleepy, go to sleep. When we're hungry, just eat. Do things on time. But we have the habit, we always delay. When we are young, we don't practice. We wait until we get older. When we get older, we will have another reason. I'm sorry, I cannot sit. I'm sorry, my body is not as well now. So that's why we always have a reason to excuse for something that we cannot do or we don't want to do. There's a master who tried to dry some of his vegetables. And one day, on a very sunny day, he bring the vegetables out and dry them. His students came out and said, Master, why it's so sunny? Why you dry your vegetable? Get inside. And he looked at them and they say, you said, I want to dry my vegetable, and why I have to wait? It's sunny. You want to dry vegetable, then if it's sunny, then it's a good time to dry them. So why you said it's too sunny, get inside? When is the good time to dry the vegetables? You don't do them on the right time. When you dry something, you need sunny. You wait until raining day to dry the vegetables? Sometimes we have a question, very simple. but we are not aware, we are not mindful enough on the question we make. So his second practice here is do things on time. For example, our loved one, they are still here with us, but we do not appreciate. Sometimes we have no time to look at each other. We reject to meet each other. We cannot sit down and talk. We cannot share, we cannot discuss. But one day, when that person gone, and we get together, what for? Of course, it's good, but a little bit too late to express something to that person. Sometimes I know there are families that they do not have a good communication between brothers and sisters. And one day, one of the brother or the sister, they die suddenly. So when they all come together, even though when they're still alive, they don't look at each other, they never talk to each other, but they will make a trip, they will be present on that, last day. I used to call them together and said, have you realized something that happened to each of us? That we will die anytime. Now your parents are no longer alive with you guys. Only brothers and sisters left. Let's, forgive and forget. Do not wait until one person dies and we come for the funeral. It's still meaning, but not a completely meaning. When we want to talk to someone, talk to them right at the time when they can hear you, when they can understand you, when they can feel your heart, your feelings. Do that. So this is the example. When you're hungry, eat. When you're sleepy, sleep. But we can reflect more things in this life. When you want to do something, do it. I have talked to one of our architects when he helped us to, design some of the projects. And I told him one of my worry, that about the future, I hope that the young monks can continue my practice, can continue my wish, and they can satisfy my wishes. And I said, if I worry that in the future nobody will take care of this, then I also will stop my project too. And then in my lifetime, I already close myself. I don't do anything. I do worry, but I will do something within my capacity in my lifetime. But if every one of us who just worry for the future, but we totally forgot what is our capacity now, then we will never start any project. We'll never done any project. And we cannot leave back any project for the next generation to continue, to keep, or to extend. So in our daily practice, or another word, in Buddhist practice, what the Buddhists taught us to do about a belief? No. The main thing that the Buddha focused and he tried to taught us the art of living. We have full of capacity that we can do something for ourselves, for our loved one, and for the life. And this we can see this idea, this spirit, show in the third sentence of the poem. You already carry within you the family jewel. Don't look for it elsewhere. That means you already have this. You don't have to run away to looking more or anywhere else to looking for. You already carry within you the family of jewel. Don't look for it elsewhere. This shows the capacity. We all have the capacity to do something. Sometimes as an adult, we used to think, oh, kids cannot do anything. But to me, I said, no, they can do something. Maybe they cannot cook, but they can open the door. When somebody rings the bell, they can come out and open the door. They can pick up a piece of garbage. They can bring their bowl and leave it into the sink. Or they can help us to dry the dishes after we wash. So that's why when I have my young monks, I taught them how to wash the dishes, fold their clothes. Of course, sometimes they do not know how to save the water. They just keep the water floating, and then they just, talk and wash and fooling around. And, old ladies say, oh, don't let them continue. They waste too much water. And I told her, it's okay. I know we waste a little bit of water. But later on, we don't waste our energy to yell at them because they don't know how to do anything. Sometimes we accept the waste of something rather than we waste our energy of yelling, headache. Oh, my son, my daughter, they don't know to do anything. Because when they are young, we don't teach them. We don't see the capacity within them. I asked the young monks to be the master of the ceremony. I asked them to come up to play the instruments, to run the Friday class, to counsel for some of the young friends who come here. Let them do it. Maybe they can do better than us. We never know. So this info, we all have the capacity to do something. Do not underestimate yourself. So to me, nobody useless and nothing useless. But the main thing here is be mindful to select everything so they can be used perfectly. When I asked the retreatants when they came for the retreat, and in our form of registration form, we have a sentence to ask them, what is your skillful? What is your occupation? Doesn't mean, we're curious about anyone's personal life, but if we know that they can do this in our retreat, if something happens, we can find somebody to help. They say, oh, I am mechanic, I am electronic, whatever. So we know that in this retreat, we have lots of people that can help us whenever we need. That's all I want to ask for. Because we want to, if we can use them within the capacity, is that perfect? If this cup can hold water, we can hold water. If someday the cup doesn't mean only for water. If one day we want to do some soup, but we don't have any bowl, this one can be for the soup. As long as they can make soup and we can have soup with it. Not only for the water. The cup not only for the drink. So that's why as a monk, as a nun, when we enter our monastic life, we all have to learn everything. You must know how to arrange the flower, you can cook, you can sweep the floor, you can do cleaning, everything. Because you can adapt. You can adapt with all kind of situation. We all have something very valuable within us. And what is it? The capacity, the nature. I like to find out more about my students or their capacity. And I try to bring them in so they can offer their talent, their skillful, their practice. So Friday night, I ask them to help me. They don't do good, they do good next time. But lately, they have done good job, right? And now they come up to give Dharma talk on Sunday too. And I am happy to see that. To my young friends, brothers and sisters, please keep in mind, you are very useful. You are not useless. Do not hate yourself. Do not try to harm yourself, but you need to protect yourself. You need to express yourself. Bring your talent to the community, for your family, for yourself. No more seeking doesn't mean we have that. You have that. Sometimes we wear the glasses, but we are running and looking for glasses. Sometimes we have our key in our hand, but we're still running. Where are my keys? And the last sentence. Facing the world with a mind that is empty, what use is Zen? If you can face this world with the mind of empty, why you need to ask for Zen or practice anymore? It's already there. So this sentence doesn't mean we don't care anything. Do not misunderstand that way. Empty mind means you do everything but nothing you attach. For example, you live in Edmonton, Alberta. Winter, we have snow. When it snows, we shovel. When we have no snow, we enjoy. No expect, but no reject. We do not expect that winter have to be hot and nice like the summertime. You can't. But when it snows, don't complain. This is Alberta, Canada. It's not California. It's not BC. We shovel the snow, but we don't suffer at all. This body, when we are sick, we need to take care. We need to take some medication. No complaint. When we are 60 years old, you have to be a little bit weak than 55 years old. No complaint. This is the truth of life. I do everything as they come, without any expect, but I learn how to accept, be happy with it, but nothing that I attach. Empty mind doesn't mean we don't care. We do care, very care. But because we understand the true facts of it already, that's why they cannot bother us, whether it's come or gone. Before we cremate somebody, I used to stand by the coffin and I put my hand on the coffin, just like I talk to the deceased. Mr. Nguyen, Mr. Lee, please listen. You do not bound to your physical body. Do not attach to what is called birth and death. They're just like a game of seeking and hiding. If you realize, if you know your path, just go. Nothing can prevent you. If, just like we are driving, if you get into the car, you know your way, go ahead. Just like when we open a quiz and exam, our teacher used to say that. You know what to do, go ahead. You know the answer, choose the answer. And this is the liberation of living. So, another word, the practicing of letting go. We cannot hold any snow on hand. When they fall on our hand, they melt. Nothing we can hold forever. But doesn't mean we don't care about that. We try to make it protect us as much as we can. And because we know this is the condition of it. Just like when we buy a TV, 2 years guarantee. Everything now, they have a guarantee. So after 2 years, it's gone, done. You know, you already know before it. While you're using it, you know it's only lasts for 2 years. But at least you know how long is your TV. But we never know how long for us. Because of that, live wholeheartedly. Do whatever we can. Because we all have the capacity to do something we want positively for our loved one. We offer. That's why in Buddhism, you offer the flower, you offer the fruits. Offering in Buddhism, when you bring things to the altar, remind you to offer the beauty as you can to the world, just like you offer the flower. You offer the fruits, symbolized for you offer any good fruit to life as you can. You offer the candle, you offer the light, offer your understanding to this world, to this life as you can. So in Buddhism, every time when you bring something to the temple, we always say, I offer. Even you bring a bag of rice and you also, I offer this to the temple. Offering means you want to donate, giving, sharing, whatever you have. So today, because tomorrow we commemorate 713 years anniversary, the passing day of Zen Master Trúc Lâm Điều Ngự Giác Hoàng, Trúc Lâm Zen Master. I want to bring this poem out and share with the Sangha the deep meaning of it. This is the last 4 sentences of his long poem. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your practice. And because I may not see you before Christmas, or even we have no formal class on Friday, but you are welcome to come back here to your own sitting meditation during the week of Friday night. Doesn't mean we close. We just have no formal class together. But you are welcome to come here anytime you want to. And I want to wish you all a happy year end and also a happy new year. Thank you for your practice. I hope that we all will continue our practice more diligently for the next coming year. And your presence always supports us as a monastic Sangha, especially to our young monks. And I hope that you can support our young monks in their practicing and also in their Buddhist work. Thank you. Enjoy your night, your weekend. I can find about at least 5 or 6 English translation of this poem. This is the only one that I share, the more words, but there are a lot, about 5 or 6 English translations of this poem. If you like, maybe you can email to us. We can send you to for your research, for your more learning. Now you can stretch out your legs and massage. Thank you.